I don't always like videos, but when I do, I always prefer Crypto. Trade wisely, my friends.
What's all right now because anything you do.
I don't always like videos, but when I do, I always prefer Crypto. Trade wisely, my friends.
Gary was a man who thought he could do crypto, sharing at the SEC.
You're locked what you see. Then please subscribe, eh? And if you like what we do, then smash that like button too. Are you trying to find financial freedom by trading and investing in them there cryptocurrencies? But are you having a hard time being profitable and making them winning trades? Well, you can get all that knowledge and a whole lot more just by watching the Crypto Chart School playlist over here at the Road Dog Crypto channel. You just go right down here where it says Chart School, you click that full playlist, and voila! They got all the knowledge right there.
Just pick up the phone and call me. I'll be there. Girl, let me show you. You're my one and only, like I told you. I'll be there. And if you get blue, I got the loving for you. Yeah, I'll be there. Your heartache, it kills me, but your loving, it thrills me. I'll be there. Whatever
Thank you very much.
When the markets go down, I buy more. Welcome everyone to a little market update. Look. Ooh, that's a lot of red behind me right there. Casper falling. Looked like she was going to fall. Everything falling. All the gains that we worked so hard to make, just going out unless you've been taking profit or trying to, doing the best you could while we had, those upswings. I want you to think back, if you will, for the last 2 weeks at what you've seen on YouTube and a lot of the followers and things that you've been watching. And I want you to think about the ones that have been pushing altcoin season down your throat right now, telling you this is your last chance to buy this coin that they are shilling and that they are pushing hard and heavy. You may have been their exit liquidity while they got ready for a bigger move. You don't know. But I want you to think about the ones that are saying, I'm telling you right now, altcoin season is here. We're close. We're closer to something happening, but we're nowhere close to a true altcoin season. We ain't there. We're nowhere near it. Nowhere near it, to be honest with you. That's when Bitcoin dominance peaks and then falls, and we are not there. In fact, if you look at Bitcoin dominance, when I'm looking at it, I can see the potential of it going up to like 70%. Now tell me what that's going to do to altcoins when that happens. Anyway, let's take a look at Bitcoin. But before we do, let's shout out to everybody who's joined on board here for this little makeshift stream we got. Let's pull down the chat here. We got Joe from Trade Intuition. We got Brackett's Adventures, who was first. And we got Sam. And Rising Sun, how's it going? Looks like we got 8 people here, so there's a few more lurking, and that is quite all right. Let me clear my throat, and we will get into it. You want some apple water? Ooh. Bitcoin. I'm on the 2-hour chart, and I think the 2-hour chart's a good place to kind of zoom out a little bit. It kind of takes a lot of the noise out. It's not one that you see me do a lot, but it is a good one, and I do come to it when things kind of get noisy. It just kind of gives you a better feel of things, in my personal opinion. But we talked about this idea, all these things were channels. All these little guys were channels, right? And they all had their little trend lines and whatnot. Weird thing is that a lot of times you'll see these angles being, respected a lot. This one may not match up perfectly, but right in there. And these channels eventually do break. If they're pointing to the upside, they are bearish channels. And it looks like we are going through this one. Now, I cheated as much as I could. I gave this one as much wiggle room as I could, pulling this back. She still broke it, so I put my line right back where we started from to touching candle bodies here, in whatever time frame I'm on. And we broke it. Not the greatest sign, not the greatest sign. Take a measure move from this to where we could possibly come down to, and you may not like this right now if you're not prepared. Put it at the breakout where we are, takes us down to this red dotted line, this area where I guess I could finesse you just a little bit right down there. Boom. Measure move at 54,300-ish. So that's on the table. Now, will she just drop down there straight like she did? Or, it doesn't always happen straight. This was a straight day. They just gave up that day. We had some signs, and even the woo-woo signs that I got out there were showing a chance for something bearish to happen. Nothing bearish happened on the day that I thought it would happen, which was yesterday on the 8th. We actually started seeing some bearish signs come in. First showing up on the 7th. But I was looking for a Tuesday dump. We didn't get the dump on Tuesday, but it looks like we are getting one here today on Wednesday. So, yay. You gotta touch up that little system, don't you? It's a work in progress, but interesting techniques. Here's some ideas that you might not be. Well, I can use this one. Might not cross your line. See, we're in a channel. We were following this trend line here, but it started, we broke that. So this was our latest point. Now, look at this guy. So this could be a reason why we are finding some support here at this area, as well as some moving averages here. And I add some bigger moving averages to give me a little bit more insight to this market on whatever time frames I'm on. And they are a little bit controversial. This is the demo line. This is the crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but I back tested it. She relevant. They hang around a lot together, the 600 and the 800, and I like that because that kind of gives me an idea over overall bullish momentum. And a lot of times when these guys cross, it's good on the macro, but in the short term, you might see pullbacks to come back and retest these lines. So the first area that I am going to be looking at for a possible bounce, if you will, that doesn't mean reversal, does not mean reversal, but it means a bounce, where we could be going back up for a bearish retest of this line. Remember, we lost this guy right here at 60, basically 62,000. So we could come down here to this area. That line's not very big. I need a bigger line there. Come back to this area, come back up, retest, and then start working on, maybe a double bottom scenario if this trend line can hold. It's hope. I mean, it's that straight up hopium. But it could happen, or we drop and come down, knock out measure move, maybe knock out a lower one, maybe knock out a 618. We could be coming down a ways. Remember, we got a bigger measure move. This is an old measure move that I've got down here, which will probably act as a little bit of support right now, because these measure moves are important. They don't expire really. They just kind of hang out there at levels that can act as support. It's not like they had to go change all the game or make new rules for levels that they could go to. No, we could still do it. And that might be enough to give us a bounce here. And maybe I don't know, if you're zooming out, there's no way that you can't miss how we broke this trend line. And still, given all the wiggle room in the world, I'm not looking forward to break back in there and just turn around bullish at the moment. Some possibilities. I mean, everything here on this time frame is not too terrible. Let me point out some of the good things that I see that could help us recover sometimes, at least on this time frame in the short term. 800, 600, 300, those are all in order. 200 is way up here, where technically on this time frame says we could possibly come back up and retest 63. Now that would be cool. If we see something like this happen, if we see price actually get bullish and come back in and start closing levels above 62,200 right through there, to me, this could be a possible bear trap idea. But then we got to contend with this area. I mean, there's lots of scenarios, but that would be one of the most bullish ones to look for. But the best thing we can do right now is zoom out and see what the bigger time frames are saying. So daily chart, what are you saying? We're just wicking below our breakout, but that's a steep one. This is a steep channel. It really is. And all the steep channels we had before did not last. That one didn't. So it's good to think that. Now, I'm going to remove these Fibonacci's here because actually I just need a clean chart. This will work. This works. So we're still under the jurisdiction of this big swing here, a lower high and then the lowest low, that big drop that liquidated a lot of the market back in August. That scared us all and made us go, what's happening? It's supposed to be going up. It's go down to 30,000. And when we were all doing all that kind of stuff going on. So it suggests that we got some lower levels that are possibilities. And this one at 56, 57 looks pretty substantial right there. So I'm eyeballing that one. let me pull these a different way here. I'm sorry, I pulled that totally wrong. This is a swing. I did. I'm phasing out. Swing low to swing. I mean, swing high to swing low. Tell me where price is going to go. That shows us resistance. That's how I use the fibs on this pull. After we get that resistance, then I employ a different method. So that's where we are. I'm sorry. Started getting off on the wrong track there, but you will see that these fibs do overlap. We just got different numbers for some of them. So we'll see some of these similar areas come in, but hopefully. Well, maybe not. Maybe you didn't. Well, screw you, road dog. You're off of it. So now I'm going to go from this low to our current high, which is a higher high than this one. So this is what we're working with. We're working with the fibs off of this range. 618 Fibonacci, according to this, 55,648. Yeah, this is going along with the other stuff we looked at before. My bad. Sometimes you got to double check what you're doing on these things. You get twisted around on the order of operations on this stuff. But there we are. 55,648. Should be the little sweet spot that we may be eyeballing here, and we've talked about this a long time ago, but the market didn't want. We talked about it over here, and lots of other YouTubers talked about these areas before too. It's just that we got bullish, made a higher high, and everybody forgot about them. Okay, well, higher high needs a higher low, and that low would be higher than this at 52,000. Although that one is still on the table too. We could come right back down there, double bottom. We got so many scenarios to play here. But the daily is telling me, well, we've got this 360 moving average right here. That's how many degrees are in a circle. It's almost how many days are in a year. I played that one too. The 360 was more accurate when I back tested it. And it is coming right up here to that area, giving us just a wee bit of confluence. Of course, that can continue to rise or fall or just hang right around that target area. So if I really had to look and kind of speculate about where we would most likely go over the next week or so. I've also got another date here thing. You know, I'm playing with times now. I can't match price and times, but there might be something happening here around the 11th or 12th. Maybe we fall and catch some. I don't know. It's all speculation. All we really can do, instead of trying to predict. I mean, it's fun. But if you're doing the predictions, you take it with a grain of salt. Always take it with a grain of salt, especially if you're not proficient on the prediction. And I wouldn't say that I'm proficient in the predicting, but I'm trying to use some of those techniques to see if they can give us a little guidance. Still, the main TA should be respected, and I really do. Signs are saying 55 could be it. That's the first place that we want to look for some strong support. Others would say that the 3.2, we did that. Now I'm looking for this one to break, and this 59.7. So that will be an area too. Now Ichimoku Cloud's actually kind of pointing this one out. Hey, keep your eye on it. Measure Move has got something different to say with that idea. So let's see. Here on the daily 600, the 800 is down here at $37,000. 660 something moving average is at 42. Those 42 is a target that we've heard before. That's back down at this area that we thought we were coming to. Still on the table, just saying, but it's looking less likely. 360 has caught us twice before. You could make an argument that maybe we won't even go back and have to touch it again, because the more we touch it, the more we're apt to break it. We don't want to really get near it. So while I'm looking at 55 for being one of the deeper retracements, we do need to look at this 386. And the reason I'm saying the 382, which is 59,780, the reason why we want to keep that on the radar, let me move these lines so we can talk about it. When we do get in a bullish point of this market, which we should be in here in October, right? 6 months after the halving, in all cycles past, this has been when the big move starts. It just always does. It never feels like it before it happens, though. It always feels like it's going to do the opposite before it happens. I think that's by design. And anyway, it feels like, oh, this. Why am I in crypto? And then it changes on a dime, and the market starts getting really interesting. Then we start looking at scenarios where it starts taking off, and then you can't catch it. And that's when it's fun if you're already in the game. If you're not in the game at that time, if they flush you out during this time and you're not in the game at that time, you miss it all. You're like, I got to chase. And then the games catch up with you and they dump down below where you bought, freak you out. You're like, I can't ever get it out the right. I'm always on the wrong side. We don't want to be in that part. So we want to watch this carefully. Now, the 382 area, when we start getting higher highs and higher lows, if we're in a very bullish trend, that will be where we bounce off of. Now, we bounced off here. Maybe we come back and retest it. I don't know. Ichimoku Cloud kind of likes that idea. It's suggesting, I don't know, maybe. So let's see. I mean, if we're bearish, we're going to come down and go below it. If we start seeing some support here, and maybe start seeing some higher highs and higher lows and smaller time frames, we'll look for some signs there. Maybe this will be a lucky break for us. So we'll keep this as our hopium target here. Again, breaking trend lines and whatnot is kind of a big deal. And if we've established one here as a channel, and I believe that do we have enough touches to confirm as a channel? We got at least 2, 3, maybe 3 touch point areas, depending on the area you are there. I think it's valid. And so that does kind of lean me down to the smaller areas there. Altcoins, well, other than meme coins, have been getting destroyed. Meme coins, some of them have been popping off. I hope you guys have been taking profits where you can. I think there is part of this market right now. Some of the degen traders is like, well, Bitcoin's going to go down. Let's get out and get it in and put it in the memes. So, risky, but man, what does that say about the market when people feel more confident about meme coins than they do solid projects? What does that say about the market? What's this? Oh man. Now, I'm sure somebody's calling a inverted head and shoulders to the upside, and I'm saying it's too soon to be calling that stuff. You can say possible. That's really the term. If there's anything that I learned in the paid group that I was in, is that the mentor stressed that possible. Always say possible, because nothing is not confirmed until it is confirmed. And every pattern or every idea should have a level of confirmation and then some level that invalidates that trade idea. I don't think those things are talked enough by the people who are, pattern teachers. So I guess I'm going to do it. So if you are looking at that idea, it's a valid idea. This is common that happens when you have, if you're a pattern trader, when you have things like a channel or a falling wedge, that this was actually known. Channels, I hear this, man, I see people drawing triangles and calling them channels. Channel is a parallel channel, right? When they start squeezing in, then we can start calling them, a wedge, which is still part of a channel. It is on the bigger idea. It's just squeezing that channel. Things are starting to squeeze. The highs are getting lower, and the lows are starting to take on a little sense of higher. We're squeezing, and like a zit, you squeeze it enough, it's going to pop and hit somebody in the eye. Now, how this usually happens is that you get a breakout, and then you get a retest of the breakout many, many times. I think it's about 64%, according to Thomas Bukowski, that you get a retest. Now, it would make sense that we would do this, get rejected at a 200 moving average. That happens all the time. We got a retest. Now, is it going to stick? We got a trend line, maybe holding it, but even if it doesn't, and this sucks, but sometimes this happens. If there's not enough volume here to sustain this move, we can come down and start riding this trend line, and that sucks. And then we got another dotted trend line over here that, could play with us. And we get what I call a lackluster breakout. Not the best, but hey, it's a little bit. And that might give you your inverted head and shoulder. Your possible inverted head and shoulder, which would not be confirmed until it gets above the neckline, or I'd call the belt line, but I'm not going to go into that. And that is this line here. So price would have to come all the way back up here to pretty much just go back up where the highs at $649 billion, and we need about $50 billion to come in to possibly confirm this idea, and then wait for a breakout that may not come. This is a rising, if you want to look at it as an inverted head and shoulders, it's a rising one. What does that mean? Well, that means the best ones are horizontal. They really are. And you will find them a lot of times horizontal. When they start tilting, you need to just zoom out and stop thinking head and shoulders and start looking at what the overall pattern is getting. And, we start getting into rise and wedgie. So if we do rise and wedgie, they usually come down. I'm just saying. So take it easy. Take it easy when trying to make the big calls to the upside. There's still a lot that needs to confirm on these ideas. But if you're asking for my opinion for the market, I do think that we got another week or two sideways and possibly down, maybe a scary drop or something. I don't think it'd be too extreme. If it is, I think it would bounce back quick, like a V-shaped recovery. But I do look for things to start. The charts are telling me this last month, a month or two ago, that it would be more of the second half of October before we'd really start seeing things start happen. And in history, that's been true because I remember making thumbnails last year and I think even the year before about Dumptober, and but it turned out okay. We had September as a green month. Historically, October's turn out to be very good when that happens, right? So we have to be patient. But if you're a trader trying to do some high leverage stuff, well, you're probably getting your ass handed to you unless you're just really good and get on the right side of it. Oh, I got Tio Peepus. I'm saying that right. How's it going, Tio? Hey, well, Jose Ponte. Hey, welcome to the stream, guys. The price of Bitcoin falls, the Ponzi falls, Bitcoin falling live. Oh, it's time to make the donuts. Let's, where's she at now? Woo, baby, look at you go. Are you still going? I'm down on the 6-minute chart, just getting it down here a little bit. Looks like she's found some support down here. I have no levels there marked at 60,000. My level's marked at 65, and that's an old one. Trend line down here, yeah. So my take on it, let's see, 6-minute time frame. I like to do these ideas. This is where we were. If you want to flesh out the idea, it was a channel. Should have been a bullish channel. That one should have broke to the upside. It didn't. When they break out on the opposite way, it's usually a strong move. A lot of people consider it to be parabolic because it just seems like it just goes straight up or straight down. And this one broke to the wrong side, and it broke hard, fast, and heavy. You could do measure moves or whatnot for the channel. You did basic one, we already excluded it. You might want to come up here and just take the whole width of this guy right here. See what that gives us. And that gives us a little lower than where I'm at, about 60,200. There's some ideas, some suggestions about what's going to happen. Personally, when it comes to all this, I'm a fib guy. I start playing with my fibs. And I'm glad to see that my trading community's doing it too. We got Brackets Adventures throwing out one, and I'm like, yeah, you see something. I was trying to try. This is where part of my thumbnail come from. Rex says, I'm scared. Can you stroke the furry walls with me? So I posted up these things from one of the coolest movies, one of the funniest movies out there. I forgot the name of it. It's got, why can't I think of his name? Oh my gosh, we're having brain farts. Hilarious movie though. I forgot that Diddy was in that movie too. Anyway, Brackett started, he zoomed out and he pulled out his fibs and used one of my tricks. And we're not quite set up for that to happen yet, but it is a possibility. It is on the table. Oh crap, I can't find the actual chart. I was gonna brag a little bit. But here's what we're looking for with the fib strategy. We couldn't get above our 618, right? Because we can't get above our 618 on that, we've got to look at these ideas. Swing low to swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. And I think he did it from you might have did it for the bigger one. I can't remember what you had, but if I were doing that idea, I would be targeting that. I would be looking at that area. It's about 59. 0.27. I think he had a lower one. I think you had a bigger one. Yeah. I didn't zoom out enough. He said zoom out. Yep, he's right. And do I have that too? Swing low to swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. Now, okay. Yeah, I think he was doing this one right here. That could happen, but some things have got to kind of occur from this one, and that's we haven't really cleared this 382 area, so I'd want to make sure I see that. We can come down to the 618. That's about 57.7. I would look for support there. If that doesn't hold, which it may not, we may be coming up and down, but yeah, we could. There would just have to be several steps for us to get there, but it's technically, yeah, for this move, it's on the table for that. That could happen. We just got a few stops that might influence us to kind of change directions along the way there. But every time that we break out of one of these upward channels, we get a pretty nice move. Last move that we had was the Batman airs up there that took us all the way back down to 52. Oh my gosh! And if we were to go with that same thing, it's kind of suggesting maybe 53. And that's not an exact science. That's just a little pull to give us an idea where we could go, just based on the ratios before. Is not exact science or anything like that. But more often than not, it's a little bit closer. Look, from there to here. Pretty spot on. She came back up and then went down further. From there to here, pretty much spot on. She just came back up and went down further. From there to here, pretty much spot on. Just came up and came up again and went down further. So there's a lot of ideas you can use to help you figure out what price action is doing. And some of these might be new ideas to you, or some of them might be ones, well, I thought about doing that, but I didn't think it'd be real. Oh, it can be real. Proportions and ratios is what I've learned about this market through the fib strategies, and it's pretty amazing. Still, your horizontal support, resistance, all that stuff comes into play. It's just that fibs just kind of automatically know where it's at, in my personal opinion. Bracket says, posted my chart in Telegram for that lower low. Okay, yeah. Let's see if we can. Yeah, this is this chart. Look at this. Yeah. So I like that we're thinking. Of course, if it makes a lower low, that would be a great lower low. We hope that we don't get a lower low, since we got a higher high though. It would be in our best interest to make a higher low. Although it can still do that and recover, because it's not lower than this one, but it would still more chop and everything. So if this 2-week window is what we're looking at, I mean, it may be, it would have a, it'd be a second leg in my opinion to get there, but it's on the table. It is on the table. And look to the left, boom, right there too. 1.13 fib. Is that red dot happening here on the daily? And since let's look at Bitcoin here on the daily with these indicators. Let's pull up Market Cipher. Oh, I thought I saw it. I thought we just flipped red on money flow. Okay, that's good. I thought I saw that. If we're still in the green, that's good. We flip red in money flow, then it's going to get nasty. If we stay green in money flow, we'll probably be okay. It won't be fun, but it's a lot better than if we go red. We don't see that happen. Stochastics right here starting to come down. They can come down and bottom out, and even when they bottom out and flatten out like this, price can still be going down. So the one that I'm looking at right now on this particular indicator is, we had this momentum wave that came up and that rolled over, and I'm looking at that, and I'm looking how wide this section here is. And that's kind of suggesting to me this could turn out to be a pretty strong move. it may have a slow start, but it could gain some momentum as it starts getting going. So I don't know. The market is crazy right now, and the world is crazy right now, and we got all kinds of fears for everything. Some of them might have some kind of effect short term on Bitcoin. I can't see many of them having, like the weather. I can't see it having too big of a big effect on Bitcoin unless it starts messing with supply chains and this and that and all this other stuff later on. But then that wouldn't be in our time frame that we're looking at here. That would be like a month or two away when, oh crap. But other things in the world, other than outside the USA, in the USA, we seem to just focus, everything rolls about us. No. We got other things going on. China, they were going to do some, put some liquidity on the market, and I think there was some snags on that. It's not happening quite the way that they'd hoped or something. So there's lots of other things to consider, but the 4-year cycle is the biggest thing that we consider in crypto. And after the halving, there will be a shortening, or not shorting, but a scarcity on Bitcoin produced every day. And what we're going to see is price come down and BlackRock get some juicy deals from people that capitulate. And they just keep buying. Until they can get their fingers wrapped all around Bitcoin, and then they got control of Bitcoin. So they think. Until that one day, developers and miners all get together and say, hey, time to fork it. Woo! Bitcoin ain't gonna die, baby. If the consensus of the world consensus decides to fork Bitcoin, the world votes. And that's the great thing about Bitcoin. You can't take it over. You can try. You might actually do it. Fork off. Fork you, buddy. And then you're sitting around with tokens that are just gradually just going down to nothing. I mean, you might have an equal amount of the other ones, but you're going to have to play ball with the way we're playing. Or this is an adventuresome world here. I doubt that it comes to that. I hope it doesn't ever come to anything like that. But if it does, I mean, Bitcoin is going to be okay. So altcoins and altcoins also feeling the pain today. They don't look as bad to me, not quite as bad. Still, anytime that you're below the 200 moving average, you got to be concerned, man. You just automatically consider yourself, well, expect more downside, or the possibility of more downside, because it's bearish until we reclaim it. Rex says everything is crashing right now except Degen. We can take a look at a few altcoins. Look at Degen go. So people, that's weird to me that people feel safe in memes and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know that she will continue this because, Bitcoin rules the world when it comes to crypto. So eventually downward price action for Bitcoin will catch up with the altcoins, but that's nice. I would be looking to take profits, and I'm on the 4-hour right here, and I'll explain why I would take profits. And the moving averages are telling me, say, hey, yeah, you might want to think about it. These guys, the 800, 600, I mean, they're starting around. It is. And even you got a bullish cross of 200 over the 300. That's great. We want to keep that going. That's showing that, yeah, we are starting to turn around. It looks like it wants to try to go parabolic. It may still, but may have a bigger pullback before it does. So I like these other moving averages crossing over these bigger ones, and I think that's what's helping us to stay up. But, they will come back down to earth probably sooner than later here. And I wouldn't doubt that we touch the bottom of this trend line, the bigger one, and lose this guy. Let's see. Let's do a few little ideas to see how relative that might be. Let's get our trend line in order there. Blow him up thicker so I can see him. He seems small. Let's take him up and identify the channel. Okay, so here's the idea. Price traveling channel. We just got the angles. And it seems like we got to retest twice off that. So that's cool. That alters our analysis a little bit. I mean, we still want to consider the bottom of the trend line because a lot of times they will come back in and get that. you need this trend line to hold. Sometimes they don't, and then sometimes they come back down to these areas. But if she can come down and bounce off of that, woo, baby. Will you be doing a cup in handy? Actually, I mean, it could be set up until it gets about, according to Thomas Bukowski, it's about 66% pullback. If it goes lower than 2/3 of the way down, then it's invalidated to him. Some people have higher expectations. Like they might look at the 382 Fibonacci area, 32%, 38% pullback, something like that. But with price rising into it, look, inverted head and shoulders to the upside. I mean, it's a little roundy. It's not the perfect thing, but yeah, I mean, for a 4-hour time frame, maybe I would say just follow a trend line myself. Trend line's not going to lead you astray. You got one going on right here. Candle bodies to candle bodies. If she goes below 8.6 cents, she's probably coming back down to 7.9 or 8 cents. And if she loses that one, she could be going to 6 cents or lower. Lucky fuckies. But right now, this to me, I mean, we got rejected off here at 382 Fibonacci. It most likely situation after this would be to range somewhere through here as much as we could, and then try to break out and start going toward the 618 area. So down in range, it could be, I would be paying myself. I'm just saying, I would be taking something off the table, 25%, 50%, whatever, something, just to say you got something while we were still up here. Yeah, maybe nibble cheaper. Hurricane Milton reaction. I mean, yeah, anything that the market makers can react to take price one direction or the other to wherever that liquidity and orders are hanging out, they're going to do it. That's why the news events work so well for the markets. It's like and you will see news manufactured and put out there at times to try to get this stuff going, these balls rolling too, right? I've been seeing a lot of shills lately. When I go to, I like to get my news a lot from CoinGecko over here, and it pisses me off when I see it. I always hate it. I mean, I'm hoping everybody else can see that too. But you'll get these things. Let's see if we can find one. Where is one? They talk about some coin that everybody likes, and they say whales are selling out of this coin to buy this meme coin or something. Crypto whales and institution possibly positioned in bullish Dogecoin move. I don't. Ripple whale who sold entire $16 million bag reveals ETF swaps and Aptos his next big bets. Yeah, this is setting you up to be their exit liquidity. That's all these things do. That's their purpose. Those little articles like that. Casper Wells for a massive 10 million in 72 hours in the Block DAG pre-sale. Oh man, I don't want to miss out. All the Casper people are doing it. We should check into that. That's such bullshit. And I'm seeing there's more of it going on right now than there has been. And we do see meme coins going up a little bit too. So I don't know if people are falling for it or what. But more and more and more of that. You gotta be careful with how you read some of these articles on some of these news outlets. And news is good to keep up with, but AI deepfakes and weaponized weather misinformation target hurricane victims. Hey, I personally saw recordings of those Senate and those committee meetings where they admitted that they do that, and they have the technology to do all that stuff. I saw that. It's out there. I can't say that you could say that's misinformation. Maybe I don't know if that's what they're doing, but they have technology that can. So, and it makes you think, well, if they got technology that can help or make it worse, which one are they using right now? And why aren't they using it if they've got it to make it better? Why? So I don't know. I get so tired of everything coming out as being that's fake news, that's conspiracy theory, and then you find out 6 months later that, oh shit, all that was true. You are the fake news. And there was a time in the world where it didn't work that way. And then after COVID, it's like everything flipped, and now conspiracy theories are freaking. Anyway, It gets kind of frightening. Some of them things go back 60, 70 years, and it's still an agenda for some stuff. And I'm like, dudes, whoever got pissed off back then's dead. Why you care anymore? Let's turn the page. And then we got all the Marxist rhetoric out there with all the turn the page, step away from the past. Forget about the past. Focus on the future. Past performance may not necessarily predict future results, but it sure does go really dang close. And if the past 4 years predict anything, it's more of the same of whatever we got. They're cool with how things are going and the direction it's going, else they would have been changing it along the way. There's no turning the page on somebody that's been in there already. It's not happening. Democrats should have let RFK be on that ticker if they wanted to have a chance. They should have. They should have done things right. Not trying to get political. Sorry. Really not. I'm married to a Democrat. Let's check out Polygon. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Polygon. I went polymath. Polyswarm. Polygon. I just need to type you out on it. Should just typed out Matic. That was weird how they changed their name like that, but they are changing, I think, the POL, right? I think they did, right? They swapped. Mine turned to POL. This is the POL. Let's make sure it looks the same as Matic over there I'm on the same. I'll just go ahead and use the Matic one. That's seem to be the same price and everything. I don't know why they got two different. That's weird. One should have canceled, closed out the other or something. That's nice. That is nice. I like that. Let's zoom out. That looks like a partial decline. Or if you're finding a bottom. If you're looking for channels, I put that in the trading community, how to trade a channel. And the same thing you hear me talk about, when you get a channel, or even when the broadening patterns, those wedges that we look at, you could even look at this as being one. When you get these little guys and stuff like that, the channel fits better because you got this little mess over here, but it works for both ideas. When you get to an area and it's called a partial decline, when it starts leveling out, Thomas Bukowski suggests that you go in and buy because she's getting ready to break out. He does. He says it. Trade the channel with a downsloping channel. Says avoid going long when price is inside a downsloping channel because it's lower lows. Just like you want to avoid going short, selling the shorts in an upward channel. For position traders, short at the top of the channel, sell in the figure. And cover when the price breaks out upward from the channel. So there's some ideas to be playing these channels, especially for position trader, swing trader, those ideas. This is a, which channel am I on here? Partial decline. If you can determine that a partial decline is formed, then trade it. Expect the breakout to be upward. Then link to the left. I said the link to the left provides more information. I copied and pasted that. So, take the ball. She could still drop. Oh, she could. She could just drop right down here, and that partial decline ain't in place. So you might want to wait for confirmations, but look for that idea. Don't mean jump in now because she can. She can drop right down here to the bottom. She come down to 22 cents. You're like, oh, Road Dog, you suck. You tell me get it. No, I said, watch. Thomas Rugazzi said it's worth trading. Wait for the signal. Wait for the idea. It's not here because we're not above that daily 9 moving average. So I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't just jump in blindly. She can drop. She can. Look in here. It looks like she wants to drop. Ichimoku House says, I'm gonna drop you down so hard right now. So this guy, this last little high we had right there, or last low that we had right there. If we break that little guy, whew, I doubt that this partial decline will probably be over. Let's raise it up here to our other high. Where are we at right now? Or low, last low. Not quite there. That one might hold, maybe. I don't know. We got to look. What you want to do, in my personal opinion, the safest way to do this would be, wait till you see it starting to do something. If anything, you want to make sure you're above a non-moving average, whatever time frame or higher time frames before your entry even. I would have to see price do a breakout and maybe even clear a previous area just to be safe. Like if it does like a double bottom situation, that would be a much safer entry than just try to, I'm just going to jump in now. I know you're thinking, I thought you liked to buy the bottom of trend lines. I do, but we don't know if this is truly a bottom just yet. You need to wait for confirmation if you want to be safe and not get caught on the wrong side of it, because it sucks being on the wrong side of it, especially if there's any kind of leverage involved. She looked pretty nasty, to be honest with you, here on the 4 hour. All these moving averages are coming down. I mean, there's a little bit of turning here. I mean, like a partial decline could be, but there's still that downward pressure here on this time frame. I want to check out my meme coin. My meme coin kept going up last night. It wasn't this guy. This guy sucks. I've been playing this guy. And how he doing? Yeah, he finally took his hit. I've been taking profits. I've been taking profits on this little guy. If you retest, I might just take another 50% out. Just try to catch you lower. I like catching this one on the low lows. This little guy, how far did you go? This is motion. And I went in around these areas, 0.00022. She went all the way up here, did almost a 250% gain. So not much, but I put in more on that one than I normally do. I had two positions and they're both about $200 a piece. So about $400 going up to 200 and, doubling up a little bit. I cleared about as much as I've put in. I've pretty much moonbagged this little sucker for real. And then if she ever wants to go back up and do this performance like she did before and give me some kind of crazy return, I'm cool with it. Because there could be a 10x up to here. Crazy that meme coins can do that. Got these people selling over there. Some people buying. It's like, oh, look, it's a discount. It's time to buy. Yeah, you got all kinds of people in this market looking at it so different. Their perspectives like, oh, it's a good deal. Let's buy it. And then you got people taking some bigger profits. $800 profit. Yeah, you knew what you were doing. You had a good position there. $1,300 profits. Oh, this one bought $1,300. Bet you regret that right now, don't you? I think you're still at break even, actually. Lucy in the way. Is she? Dang it, Lucy. I always forget about her. Well, that screws up my stream. Thanks a lot, Lucy. We'll get her off of there. All right. Critical Massive Enterprise. Hey, Red Dog, sorry I missed your lives the last couple of times, bro. It's been deep in the trenches. Hey, whenever you can make it, baby. You guys don't owe me nothing. Nobody owes me anything. I just appreciate you guys hanging out. The more people hang out, the more interesting the streams can get. Have you looked at Caspa? I haven't. Did I? I think I did for a minute, but we can look at it again. I've got a different take on. I got some interesting takes on Caspa. I do think that it's very possible that she's going to hit 9 cents. Nobody wants to hear that right now, but I keep seeing the possibility of that happening. Hope not. The other one is that this is kind of rounding over and getting tired. And now I've seen some other charts that have this kind of weird setup, because it is. It's like she was in a channel And then she broke up, and she jumped up to a whole new level, basically. If I can explain it this way. My thought process on this one. This guy right here, we got to blow him up big, and I want to make him red and impressive. Well, when he was down here, he was a channel here and possibly even right here. So I'll just put you right on the very top. Right on the very top. That's actually a good one. Support resistance flip right there. All right, so we kind of took our angles and put, and this was the channel it was in, right? And this is what price action has done to that. You're back in this channel now. And right now, it's saying 12 cents. If it goes lower than where it hit on August 5th or 5th, wasn't it? I thought it was the 5th. We had the big drop. So we got these two areas that it could be bouncing off of. What I don't like is that she's flirting with breaking this trend line here. I mean, this is wicking, and it can wick and come back in, and we can be fine, but it sucks that that's happened. This may be a lower, yeah, we have to adjust our angles here a little bit. I'd like to go from a candle body, and then let's just go to the first wick instead of the first candle body. Candle body's been broken. First wick gives us a little bit more wiggle room. We're actually right down to this little line here that we got, 12.6. Hopefully we will bounce around 12. Right now I've got my limit orders, or I did. I think they're still there. I do have them. I do have some limit orders in my position trades to, layered in to catch some of this. But not enough just in case we start breaking down. Lucy's coming down at 8.5 cents. Hopefully we won't go see her. Ichimoku Cloud looks really itchy. I mean, she's been looking bearish for a while, and I've talked about it for a while, and nobody liked to hear it. Even when we were up here, I mean, I was like, I'm just not seeing it. I'm seeing 13 cents. I kept saying I'm seeing 13 cents coming, and then we did. And now I think we could possibly touch 9. However, I will say this with some other charts, but they've been negated today, though, with the drops we got today. I've seen something very similar on the other meme coins with the really, really similar setup where we gapped up like that. I can't even get my chart to move here. And then it turned out to be like a bigger rounding thing with the following, a rounding top, and come back down to these areas here, 9.5 cents. This is exactly what I expect. I'm just gonna lay it out. These areas right down here. This is what I see possibly happening here. Could be totally wrong, but we're just going to throw it out here. I don't need that color coded. I need that gray. And we got to zoom out. I see it as possibly rounding out, coming back here. I mean, that's the top parts of the pattern, the inside of the pattern to get here real soon. And once we get this area, we could get a strong bounce off of there. That's what I'm looking for right there. We are in a big ass range, so really, I think a good tool to use here would be this little range tool. Just pull them out there, and there you go. That's a pretty cool tool. For real, when it comes to these range trading strategies. It makes it takes all the guesswork. I mean, it takes a lot, not all, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of you if you're just trying to eyeball. I mean, it's for a quick eyeball analysis, I think it's pretty impressive. I see why Frankie Candles and Jason Casper they use it so much and like it so much, because it does do really good. It's also suggesting right here, right at 10 cents is where it can go. And if it can go to 10 cents, you can just wick on down here to 9.5 cents. So if you ask me what I really think will happen, I think 9.5 cents is slowly coming. And it sucks, but we just keep losing levels after level after level. And I can't help but to think that the memes have something to do with it. Now, a lot of people will not like that idea, but I'm just saying, if you're making all your money in Caspa, they don't have stablecoin over there. All they got is Caspa. It's like back in the day, we used to trade them Bitcoin pairs, baby. Woohoo! What did you do when you wanted to cash out? You'd sell that Bitcoin for dollars, and you know. So all the little altcoins coming out at the time started taking away from Bitcoin's dominance. The meme coins are taking away from Caspa's dominance, y'all. You're spreading out that ecosystem too much into senseless meme coins that really don't. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just telling you how it is. Meme coins that aren't worth something. There may be some that will, you know, gather steam like they always do and everything, but there's no stable coin over there. It needs that. Hell, even Justin Sun knew that. And that's why we got Tron. Ain't no other reason for that chain. But it's cheap to move money. And sometimes that's all you need to get ahead in this game. Shoot, that was the thing Litecoin kept it around for so long. It's a cheap way to move money. And when I move things to exchanges, I do it in Litecoin because it was cheap. It relatively stayed at the same price, so it made a good little mover to move money. XRP is another one that is because it's quick, fast, and can move, and cheaper than paying the fees for Bitcoin, especially Ethereum back in the day, right? Caspa could be an awesome place for stablecoin. That's what they need. And then, of course, other projects actually doing something like, so hopefully this wallet or whatever, hopefully they got their own token or exchange or whatever the Caspa thing is. Hopefully they got something over there, even though it'd be a freaking governance token, but hopefully they got something over there so that at least that's, you know, we're actually building the ecosystem. But it might be an easy time for bad players to really, you know, take advantage of all the Caspa hype. That's what I'd be afraid of. That's why I was asking, you know, are the Caspa developers, are they involved with this the meme thing? You know, I mean, how close is that tied to them? Because it would be easy to go to another chain, and they do it all the time. Look at Binance Smart Chain. Binance Smart Chain became the meme chain, right? And now it's just like, then it became the scam chain because everything was scams. And that's why it lost a little faith over there. Any project is launching on Binance Smart Chain, you're kind of like, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I got a great little gaming project over there called Sinverse. I like it. And then there's some deep in places like Clintex, I think, on there. But I have to look at them. There's this part of my mind that say, I don't know. It's on Binance. It could be more hype or end up being a rug pull or something, because, you know, Binance had a lot of rug pulls. It got so much attention because it was cheaper than using Ethereum, right? PancakeSwap came out, doing all good. But we need to start developing the ecosystem. We need some exchanges over there, and hopefully they got the plans and everything, but that stablecoin is going to be the big thing. Caspa at 12.8 cents. We hit the 12s now. So here we are. Droppy. Didn't want to hear it, but there we go. Happening right now. Getting closer and closer to that 3 cent area. I had to de-risk in Caspa when we were, I think we were in here 13. I was like, oh shoot, she's going there. I got to. So that I have money to buy it cheaper, and I don't have no liquidation at 8.8 cents. I can't do that. We're going down to 9 cents. That's too close to my liquidation. I'm sorry. I got a plan for that. So looks like it was a good move, even though it would have been better. I've been trying to take profits as she goes up. She just didn't want to go up anymore. I'm like, you suck. You can't even get past 14 cents because 14 cents was the deal a few days ago, man. A week ago, 14 cents was the goal to buy you. And now it ain't. Caspa. Good project. She's just going through some stuff right now. What goes up comes down. Yeah, it sucks when somebody says that when it's going down, though, don't it? The Hopium, 12 hour looks good. I just happened to come here, but we're on the 800 moving average there. Anytime I see price approaching an 8 hour, 800 moving average, no matter what time frame I'm on, when I see it, it's worth paying attention to. And it will change. Look, where's it at over here? It's not even showing up on the daily. So our first real instance of the 800 moving average for Caspa is right here. 12.8 cents. It looks like seriously, it looks like for right now, she's got a good chance to bounce from here, in my personal opinion. And here's why. I wanted to explain to you why. Even though you got the red dot here on market cypher saying, we're going to dump. I want you to look, well, one thing, I want you to look, before we even get into what I was going to show you, I want you to look at your RSIs. On a bigger time frame, 12 hour. Okay, so they are down and they are in the red historically. I mean, if you look at this, you'll notice those have been really good places to buy Caspa or buy any asset when this happens. So zoom out. Was it on the 12-hour time frame? You probably sucked here, didn't you? It did get a bounce up there. That was the Lucy line. Historically over here, that was a good place. Here we're stumbling. Here it was good. Back over here, it got into the red there too, and then that was good. So I mean, it's ballsy to do it, but it usually proves out to be a pretty decent thing. So I'm looking for a possibility for short-term bounce here. Now that doesn't mean we're going to reverse and then we're going back to 18 cents. That means that we probably come back up here to about 14.5 cents and then roll over. Come and look at 10 cents or maybe lower. Maybe we double bottom here. We got to see. 800 moving average, that's kind of a big one. Here's what I got moving average. Our 200 still up here at 16.6. So we got 800, 600, 300, 200. They're in the right direction. The momentum is still good. It's still good. In other words, I would look at this as some kind of range in between here. Is how I interpret this. So might be a good idea to get this tool out and just let's go from here. Let's see what we got over here. Would it be any different? Let's pull it from over here. Let's go all the way over here and see what it says. This gives us basically the same thing. All right, so it suggests, if we take in the range consideration in, that yeah, she can pull us back up here. Nope. It says about 15 cents and possibly up to 16. So we've got this whole range up here that we could be playing with Caspa. It could be fun. Could be fun. That's 12 hour. 4 hour. What are you saying, 4 hour? So 12 hour look like it could be hopeful, and that's why we want to go with the bigger time frames. They will give us the most accurate information. If we come back to the 4 hour, I mean, we still got all the stuff we drew before when we're still looking at our levels of support here. Moving averages on the 4 hour. Well, they flip bearishly, and it's just opposite what we saw on the 12 hour. See? Well, almost. So we got the 600 above the 800. That's the little thing that might be pulling us up right there. But otherwise, everything else is flipped bad. So, woo, you got some recovering to do. She needs to come back and get that 9, about 13.5 cents. And that would be a nice little come up from here. I can see that happening short term. I can see that. So with Caspa, first thing I'm going to look for is a bearish retest. I know we got a little range thing up there saying, hey, we want us to come back up there. But first thing, bearish retest, we lost this level. That could happen. We could come and get chopped, and then we have to figure it out. Double bottom, work all through that. Get up here in our little range, and then maybe we could start making it. You know, it could take a little while for anything to play out. But for your D-gens trying to get Caspa at a cheaper price, nibbling here could be a payoff, but just keep in mind, you'd have to take profits. It might be a good idea to pay yourself within the year. Work some kind of little strategy instead of just trying to diamond hand it till she gets back up there. I don't know. It just depends on what you got going on. I got some leverage in it, so I gotta look at it this way. If I was spot, I would just like, let's buy more. Looks like a good place to buy something. Let's add it. Throw it in the bag. Spot's awesome. When the market starts turning down like this, I start looking like, oh man, you should have stayed in spot. You should have stayed in spot. This is just getting to be too much dang work to have to figure all this out. If you're going to sell here, short here, try to buy back here, it's with all the coins I got, I'm working at it, it's getting on my dang nerves, to be honest with you. I would advise the temptation to just keep collecting as many coins as you can, trying to Pokemon them and catch them all, because that's just it's not the smartest route. It's really not. You will have opportunity cost. You'll make more money not doing it, I believe. I really do believe that now. Let's go back to the chat real quick. I think I pretty much went over everything. How low can we go, says Rising Sun. Am I on the current chat? So how, for Bitcoin, I'm eyeballing a possibility of 55 for Bitcoin, maybe. That's the one with the fib level. Yeah, this one, right? Yeah, that's the one right there. Here we are. Got the Coinbase chart. Let me double check my. And I'm eyeballing it because I'm basing it off this move over here. I think we're still in this one's shadow, and the 618 for that one. If I'm not. Oh crap. From this one, from this swing high to there. That's not. I'm looking for 55 for real. I'm gonna have to go and adjust my other charts there. So I see that we could get a slow burn down there, but I am looking for things on the way, such as maybe catching here for a little bit here at 59. But I do see probably they'll slow burn us down there a little bit. It always seems like, you know, like this one right here is like, oh, we can bounce here and go, but then they slow burn us, well, roll us over, and we slowly just come down and bottom out. Come down here and say, oh, we can bounce here, right? And then we come down further. So we probably have, you know, a little legs taking us down there over the next, I don't know, 10 days or so. I don't think it will last much further than, you know, a week or maybe a little bit longer. Well, guys, that's what I got. I'll be streaming tonight. We'll be going over altcoins and all that good stuff and looking at the market again. I just want to get up, you know, it's a scary day today. It's uncertain, and then she's breaking levels, and then who knows what's being told out there. We're going here. I told you we're going to do that. You know, you got everything popping off out there. It's just try to keep your wits about you, keep your emotions under check. You know, we're trying to make plans for these possibilities over the past few weeks, because she showed some signs in some various different ways that something was going to happen around this time. And gosh darn it, unfortunately, here we are. I was expecting, honestly, my little woo-woo stuff, I was actually expecting a stronger drop. I was expecting a stronger drop, but it doesn't have to work out that way. It's just pointing a point in time when something's going to start changing. And it can be just a slow burn down for a little while. I do have some signs that some things will turn down starting around the 15th, 17th, right through there. And I'll try to dig into those and see if I can kind of iron that out a little bit. Striker says, I want dirt nasty low prices. You going for that's the best way to do it. You got the dry powder for it, baby. Yes, that's the best way to do it. All right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you tonight. Trade carefully. Sean? I think he's in that apple water again. I gotta do it myself.
Come on, come here, bud.
Look, there's the button.
Come on. You freaky dog.
Have a good one, everybody. Be careful.